In 2020, researchers in Australia published a peer-reviewed study in the scientific journal Foods that tested 31 samples of pink salt sold to consumers. They found something the marketing never mentions. One sample contained so much lead that it exceeded the maximum allowed by Food Standards Australia and New Zealand, and some pink salts carried far more lead than ordinary white table salt. Pink salt is sold as the pure natural alternative, promising 84 trace minerals. Today, we are testing that promise against what laboratories and regulators have actually found, because the honest picture is more complicated than the pink crystal suggests. We will walk through 10 documented findings, then name 3 salts that hold up better, each with its real limitation. If careful, sourced reporting like this is what you came for, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe before we begin. 1. The peer-reviewed study that started the concern. The most credible warning about pink salt does not come from a blog or a brand. It comes from a peer-reviewed study. In 2020, nutrition researchers in Australia analyzed 31 pink salt products available to consumers and published their results in the scientific journal Foods. They found wide and unpredictable variation in both nutrients and contaminants from one sample to the next. Most importantly, one pink salt sample contained a level of lead that exceeded the contaminant maximum set by Food Standards Australia and New Zealand by about 25%. And that single sample carried more than 130 times the lead of conventional white table salt. The same researchers noted that the trace minerals so heavily marketed were present only in tiny, nutritionally minor amounts, and that darker, more intensely colored pink salts tended to carry more of the contaminants, not more of the benefits. This is the foundation everything else rests on: a named, published study finding real lead in a real product category, not a rumor. So while pink salt has built its reputation through the language of natural purity and ancient origins, this study quietly raises a question that Wholesome Image is designed to prevent. When a peer-reviewed journal documents lead above a national safety limit in a product sold as pure, what exactly is the word natural on that label actually guaranteeing? 2. Arsenic was found in every sample tested. Beyond the peer-reviewed work, independent testing projects have sent salt to certified laboratories. One project run by the consumer group Mamavation sent 23 salt products to an EPA-certified laboratory and reported that arsenic was detectable in 100% of the salts tested, that lead appeared in roughly 96%, and that cadmium showed up in a majority. It is worth being precise and fair here. This was advocacy-funded testing rather than a government survey, and in its first round, the group reported that no product exceeded the threshold that would trigger a California Proposition 65 warning based on a typical daily serving. Arsenic and lead in salt are not unique to pink varieties, but mined and unrefined salts consistently tested higher than refined ones. The point is not panic. It is that detectable heavy metals are the rule in this category, not the exception. The same group has since expanded its testing to roughly 40 salt brands, and by 2025, it flagged that at least one newer addition might warrant a Proposition 65 warning after all, a reminder that the picture sharpens as more products are tested. So while pink salt has built its appeal through the promise of being cleaner than processed table salt, this testing quietly raises a question that Clean Image is designed to prevent. When an independent lab finds arsenic in every single sample and lead in nearly all of them, what exactly is the idea of an untouched, pristine salt really worth? 3. Lead has no safe level lead deserves its own entry because the science on it is unusually settled. The World Health Organization states plainly that there is no known safe level of lead exposure and that the harm accumulates over a lifetime. That matters enormously for a product eaten every day. Independent laboratories testing popular mined salts have reported lead at levels reaching into the hundreds of parts per billion, far above the 5 parts per billion that lawmakers proposed as an action level for children's food in the Baby Food Safety Act of 2021. That proposed figure is a benchmark for public awareness, not an enforceable limit on salt. And salt makers are quick and correct to point out that no law is being broken. International food safety standards do set salt limits, with the Codex standard allowing up to 2 milligrams of lead per kilogram and the European Union setting 1 milligram per kilogram, and most salts on the shelf fall under those ceilings. But the WHO's position does not bend to legality. Where lead is concerned, the safest exposure is simply the lowest one. So while pink salt has built its health halo through the suggestion that natural means harmless, this fact quietly raises a question that comforting assumption is designed to prevent. When the world's leading health body says no amount of lead is safe, and labs keep finding it in mined salt, what exactly is the reassurance of an ancient, untouched source actually protecting? 4. The microplastics problem. Heavy metals are not the only contaminant worth knowing about. A 2022 study analyzing common commercial salts found that microplastic contamination was actually higher in land-based salts, such as black salt and Himalayan pink salt, than in marine sea salts, with coarse Himalayan pink salt showing the highest load of all. The researchers suggested the contamination most likely entered during mining, grinding, packaging, or storage, rather than from the ancient deposit itself. It is a counterintuitive result, because consumers often assume sea salt would be the plastic-laden option, and a mined mountain salt would be pristine. The science suggests the opposite can be true. As with the metals, the levels found are small, and no regulator has declared them an acute hazard. But they are another reminder that pink salt is not the untouched product the marketing implies. Broader surveys have found microplastics in the overwhelming majority of the world's salt, at counts that range widely from a handful to well over 100 particles per kilogram, depending on the salt and its source. The health meaning of swallowing those particles is still being studied, but their presence quietly undercuts the central selling point that pink salt is the cleaner option. So while pink salt has built its premium image through the romance of a 400-million-year-old mountain source, this finding quietly raises a question that Origin Story is designed to prevent. When a mined salt tests higher for microplastics than salt pulled from the open sea, what exactly is the promise of ancient purity actually describing? 5. The 84 trace minerals claim. Perhaps the most repeated selling point for pink salt is that it contains 84 trace minerals. This is technically true and practically meaningless. The 2020 food study and the dietitians who review this evidence agree that those minerals are present in such tiny amounts that they make no measurable difference to your health. As one registered dietitian explained for a major hospital system, to get a meaningful amount of a mineral like potassium or iron from pink salt, you would have to eat far more salt than is safe, overwhelming your body with sodium long before the minerals added up to anything. The very same minerals are available in ordinary foods like sweet potatoes, spinach, or chickpeas in vastly greater amounts and without the sodium. To put it in perspective, leading health authorities advise keeping sodium under about 2,300 milligrams a day, and you would blow through that long before pink salt's mineral content delivered anything your body would notice. The 84 mineral claim sells a benefit the salt cannot actually deliver. So while pink salt has built its premium price through the image of a mineral-rich superfood, this fact quietly raises a question that colorful marketing is designed to prevent. When experts agree you would overload on sodium long before those minerals mattered, what exactly is the 84 mineral promise actually selling besides color? 6. It contains almost no iodine. There is a real nutritional difference between pink salt and ordinary table salt, but it runs in the opposite direction from the marketing. Most table salt in the United States is iodized, meaning iodine is deliberately added, a public health measure introduced in 1924 to prevent iodine deficiency and the goiter and thyroid problems it causes. Pink salt is not iodized and contains only nutritionally insignificant traces of iodine. The American Thyroid Association and thyroid health organizations specifically warn that kosher, sea, and Himalayan pink salts are not reliable iodine sources, and a 2022 study in the journal Thyroid examined iodine trends in Americans from 2001 to 2020 and documented a renewed decline as households drift toward trendy specialty salts. Roughly 3/4 of American households once reached for iodized salt by default. As that share erodes, a deficiency the country largely solved a century ago has room to creep back. For pregnant women, vegetarians, and anyone relying on salt for iodine, quietly replacing iodized salt with pink salt removes a safeguard most people do not even realize they have. So while pink salt has built its modern appeal through the idea that it is the more wholesome choice, this fact quietly raises a question that wholesome image is designed to prevent. When the prettier salt silently removes the one nutrient your table salt was fortified to provide, what exactly is the upgrade you think you are making? 7. The pink salt trick and weight loss claims. In the last few years, social media has filled with claims about a pink salt trick, usually a glass of water mixed with pink salt and promoted for weight loss, detoxification, or boundless energy. Independent evaluators, including the testing organization Consumer Lab, have looked for evidence behind these claims and found none. There is no scientific support for the idea that pink salt in water melts fat, flushes toxins, or balances the body in any way ordinary salt does not. What these viral recipes reliably do is add sodium, which most people already consume far too much of, raising blood pressure risk rather than lowering weight. The trend persists because it is cheap to promote and easy to believe, not because it works. For an older viewer managing blood pressure, that extra hidden sodium is the opposite of the health boost the trick promises. So while pink salt has built this latest wave of popularity through viral promises of effortless health, the pink salt trick quietly raises a question that hopeful harmful trend is designed to prevent. When the people who actually test these claims find no evidence behind any of them, what exactly is a spoonful of pink salt in your morning water doing besides raising your sodium? 8. The numbers swing wildly from sample to sample. One of the most important and least discussed findings is variability. The 2020 food study found that contamination and mineral content varied enormously from one pink salt to the next, and independent testers have found the same metal measured at very different levels across different batches of even a single brand. This is why no honest video can simply declare a particular pink salt safe forever. The next bag from the same shelf can test differently. It also cuts the other way. In fairness, salt makers correctly note that salt is a small part of total dietary metal exposure compared with water and vegetables, and that by their own calculations, you would have to eat many times the normal amount of salt in a day to approach official intake limits. One major mined salt brand argues that even at the highest lead level it has measured, a person would need to eat dozens of servings of salt daily to reach the tolerable limit. Both things are true at once. The contamination is real, and the dose from normal use is usually small, but the unpredictability means a blanket safe label is not something the data can support. So while pink salt has built its trust through consistent, attractive branding, this variability quietly raises a question that uniform pink color is designed to prevent. When the same brand can test clean in one batch and concerning in another, what exactly is a one-time safe rating actually promising about the bag in your cabinet? 9. Natural and pure are marketing words, not safety grades. The words that sell pink salt the hardest, natural, pure, ancient, and unrefined, have no regulated meaning when it comes to contamination. Consumer safety testers point out that lead is lead, whether it arrived from an ancient geological deposit or a modern factory. The human body processes it the same way either way. A salt can be entirely natural and still contain a naturally occurring contaminant, and with mined salt, that contaminant can come straight from the rock, since lead and arsenic sit underground alongside the very minerals being extracted. In fairness, the FDA itself notes that detecting lead in a food does not automatically mean the food must be avoided, and that good overall nutrition helps the body handle trace contaminants, which is the honest counterweight to any alarm. But that does not rescue the marketing, because the entire premium of pink salt rests on the suggestion that natural equals safe, and that equivalence simply is not real. So while pink salt has built its entire premium through the vocabulary of purity, these labels quietly raise a question that careful wording is designed to prevent. When natural and pure say nothing about the lead or arsenic actually in the crystal, what exactly are those reassuring words on the package actually certifying? 10. The risk that builds up over years. The final fact is about time. The danger from trace heavy metals in salt is almost never a single dramatic poisoning. It is slow accumulation. The WHO and the Federal Agency for Toxic Substances and Disease Registry note that lead bioaccumulates in bone and soft tissue over a lifetime, and that cadmium, once absorbed, can remain in the kidneys with a biological half-life measured in decades. For a healthy adult using a pinch now and then, the contribution from salt is genuinely small. But for someone who uses pink salt heavily and daily for years, or who already has reduced kidney function, the cumulative load is exactly the kind of low-dose, long-term exposure these agencies warn about. This is precisely why an older audience deserves the honest version of this story rather than either the hype or the panic. It is worth adding that international cancer authorities classify inorganic arsenic as a known human carcinogen and lead compounds as probable ones, which is why even small, repeated exposures are taken seriously rather than dismissed. So while pink salt has built its everyday habit through the gentle feeling that a little natural salt could never hurt, this fact quietly raises a question that comfortable routine is designed to prevent. When the harm from these metals is measured in decades of accumulation rather than a single meal, what exactly is years of daily use quietly adding up to? Fortunately, the same testing that exposes the problem also points toward better choices. None of these is a magic metal-free crystal, because no salt is, but each is anchored to a real, documented reason it holds up better than the pink alternative, with its honest limitation left in plain sight. Safer. Pick number 1. Morton iodized salt. For the everyday shaker, ordinary iodized table salt, such as Morton iodized salt, is the choice the evidence actually supports. Because it is refined, the same processing that strips away the trace minerals also strips away most of the geological heavy metals that mined salts carry, which is why refined salts consistently test lower for lead and arsenic than their mined cousins. Just as importantly, it is fortified with iodine, the single nutrient pink salt removes, which is why dietitians reviewing the science often call plain iodized salt the most quietly healthful option in the entire pantry. One honest disclosure, it does contain added anti-caking agents and lacks the trace minerals people enjoy in specialty salts, and it is still sodium. So the real health rule, using any salt in moderation, applies to this one exactly as much as to the others. Safer, pick number 2, Diamond Crystal Kosher Salt for cooking. Diamond Crystal Kosher Salt is a strong refined choice with a clean ingredient list and no added anti-caking agents. As a refined salt, it lacks the heavy geological mineral and metal load found in mined pink salts, and its light, hollow crystals make it a longtime favorite of chefs for controllable, even seasoning. It gives you a straightforward sodium chloride salt for the stove, without the contamination questions that follow unrefined mineral salts. And because it dissolves cleanly, it has long been the standard. Many recipes are written around. One honest disclosure, it is not iodized. So if you switch to it as your only salt, you will need to get iodine from other foods such as dairy, eggs, or seafood, or keep an iodized salt in the house for the table. Safer, pick number 3, a salt that publishes third-party testing, such as Baja Gold. If you genuinely prefer an unrefined mineral salt for its flavor, the safest version of that choice is one that publishes current third-party laboratory testing, so you can actually verify what you are buying, such as Baja Gold Mineral Sea Salt, which posts certificates of analysis and states that its metal levels fall below international codex limits. Transparency is the real safeguard here. A brand that shows you its numbers lets you decide for yourself, rather than hiding behind the words natural and pure. One honest disclosure, publishing tests is not the same as being metal-free, and this example proves the point because an independent September 2024 laboratory report on Baja Gold still found lead at roughly 114 parts per billion, above the children's benchmark proposed in 2021, even though cadmium and mercury were non-detect. So verify the testing yourself and still use it sparingly. 10 documented findings and 3 honest alternatives, each with its limitations shown rather than hidden. Pink salt is not poison, and it is not a superfood. It is a mined mineral product whose contents vary, whose marketing outruns its evidence, and whose real risks and real limits are sitting in published studies for anyone willing to look. The healthiest move for most people is the least glamorous one. A modest amount of a salt you can actually verify, iodine from somewhere in your diet, and far less worry about the color of the crystal than about the total amount in the dish, which means the decision, as always, is about information, not marketing, information. If this kind of calm, sourced reporting is what you came for, please like this video, share it with someone who swears by their pink salt grinder, and subscribe so the next investigation finds you.